Hi everyone, I'm Ariel, and today I'm going to be talking about the movie K-Pop Demon Hunters. I'm so excited about getting to talk about this movie. I watched this movie like a couple months ago, and I've just been waiting to be able to sit down and talk about it. I've finally been getting done editing my Thunderbolts video at the time I'm recording this. So when I originally was going to do this channel, I was going to kind of do like watch and react videos. And because I know that I said in the Thunderbolts video I was going to do like a watch and react to the K-Pop Demon Hunters, because I hadn't seen it at that time when I had filmed Thunderbolts. But then when I was editing my Thunderbolts video, I realized that I kept pausing the movie to mostly talk about the certain scenes, their characters, or whatever my thoughts were. And when I went to go sit down and edit it, I did most of the talking when the movie was like paused, versus like, I mean, I had some reactions obviously when it was playing, but more my reaction and kind of my thoughts were more so when I had the movie paused. And so it's kind of, I feel like it's gonna be better for me if I watch a movie and then I like sit down to talk about it, if that makes sense. So I decided to go ahead and watch K-Pop Demon Hunters, and now I've got all my thoughts together and now I can just talk about it. So opening up the movie, the opening scene is like definitely one of my favorite parts of the film. It definitely gets you like right into the movie and it makes you hype for it. It's a lot of fun, and obviously great song to start off the film with. And yeah, you know, going into this movie, I know before I watched the movie, I was watching the music videos, and at first I didn't know how I was going to feel about the animation, but because it kind of gave me vibes of like, I mean, for the girls, I was like, I could definitely see them being like Barbies in like a Barbie animated film. And then I was like, but I was also getting, I guess, some like anime vibes, I guess. Like it was kind of reminding me, like there were times some of their facial expressions reminded me of like Pokemon, even though it's been so long since I've watched Pokemon. I was a huge Pokemon fan as a kid. So it kind of reminded me of Pokemon. I was also getting vibes of like Spirited Away. I don't know if you've seen the film. I watched that when I was like way younger, and I remember it creeping me out. I think there was just something about like, I know her parents, I think, were turned into pigs. I don't know if she gets taken. I mean, it's called Spirited Away, but I don't know. I feel like someone's trying to kill her in the film or something. I don't know. I just remember it kind of creeping me out. And at first I felt like even though the animation is different in this film, I felt like it kind of gave me the same vibes at first. So I didn't know how I was going to feel about it. I will definitely say it definitely, like the demons in this, when I first watched it initially, they definitely creeped me out a little bit, which, I mean, they are demons, and sometimes some of their facial expressions, I was like, I don't know, it kind of gave me the vibe of like I said, Pokemon. Even the tiger kind of creeped me out at first, even though now that I've watched it like so many times, I've had this movie playing in the background, I've watched it a ton, and now I've gotten used to it. So I would definitely say, so at first it definitely took me a little bit of getting used to the animation in this film, but I think it's just because, like I said, I don't know, at first it gave me vibes of like Spirited Away, and that movie kind of creeped me out as a kid. And then, like I said, like the demons obviously were a little creepy looking, but they're supposed to be. But no, I mean, but the more I've watched it, I've gotten used to it, and then now I'm like, oh, like even the magpie, the tiger, like they're really cute, and the demons don't bother me anymore, even though they are still a little creepy looking. I thought it was funny because one of the demons at the beginning in the opening scene on the plane, like he kind of has like the dragon face, and I know this is like a Korean film, but I was like, it kind of gave me vibes of like, I feel like when I was in school in art class, I feel like we did something for like Chinese art class like with dragons, and it kind of gave me like, it made me feel like that was a little similar. I mean, I know that it's like a different culture, but I thought there was like kind of a similarity, even though I feel like this is like the only demon that looked like a dragon in the film. But anyways, basically, if you haven't seen this movie, it's about three girls, Zoe, Rumi, and Mira. who are not only singers, but they're demon hunters, and they use their songs to help connect people, and it creates like this almost like protection from people from the demon world, basically. And their goal in this movie is, it's like they're hoping their music reaches a point where it can create this golden honmoon, which will like permanently seal the world from the demon world, basically. Anyway, so that's basically kind of the idea of the film. I would only say this movie, I really loved it. Great original idea. It's a lot of fun. I love that they included like the Korean culture in this, because I will say, like, I don't know a lot about, like, I don't know a ton about like Korea and like a lot of the culture, and it is fun like when movies and film can like kind of dive more into other people's cultures around the world and stuff. And it was fun. Like in this movie, they use some like Korean words not only in their songs but in some of the conversations they have. And after I watched this movie, it definitely made me interested in trying to figure out, well, first I was like, I want to figure out what the lyrics are, so that I can try to sing along, because I was like, I'm having problems trying to pronounce some of the Korean just listening to it. And I actually found this guy's YouTube video, which I'll put the link down below, because he went over not only the lyrics for the songs, but also some of the words you hear throughout the film that they use. Like at one point when they were entering in like the little doctor's clinic, Zoe goes, hold on, I'm gonna hope I say this right. Zoe says, Gaja. I hope I'm saying that right, and it means let's go. So, you know, he talks about, he like goes over the words that are used in the film. He also went over like in the film, they actually have the details, are like scenes of places that are actually in Korea. So I thought that was actually cool, because I've never been to Korea, and so it was cool to kind of like, so I didn't really know what it looked like. And so, like I said, it's just fun when a film can add in culture and show more places and just kind of depict that in the film. You know, I really loved it, and it was definitely interesting, and it made me want to learn more about the culture. And I'm still trying to learn the lyrics. I will definitely say it's very hard for me learning a language. I don't know what it is. I took Spanish like all throughout school when I was younger, but it's like, while I could write it and say certain words, like I'm so bad when it comes to like conversations for some reason. But it takes me a while to really grasp a language. So, but I'm still trying to learn some of the Korean for this movie, because I'm hoping at some point I can actually sing the songs, like the parts in Korean. I don't know, I feel like maybe if I listen to someone sing it a little bit slower, and then I catch on, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, no, I love that they added culture. Also, like, I also learned from his video that the tiger and the magpie were actually in like kind of like a Korean like historical like kind of paintings, which I actually researched some of this. So hold on, I'm gonna read it, what I found out. So it said that Jinu's pet tiger and magpie are based on minhwa, a style of Korean folk art popular during the Joseon period, and with the Hojakdo genre specializing in images of tigers, magpies, and pine trees. The depiction of these animals together changed over time to become more satirical by the 17th century. The minhwa was often whimsical with mischievous details, and depictions of tiger and magpie delivered a playful jab at those in power. So they said that the film's gag of the magpie stealing the tiger's hat at one point feels like an affectionate nod to the long-running visual joke. So that's what I read about it, kind of summing it up. But yeah, so that's kind of cool. Like I said, they like took so like I said, little small details for Korean culture used in it, and I think that's, I don't know, like I said, I think that's just like a cool little thing to add to a film. And yeah, I know that in the video, I think he even talked about like some of the food and stuff that kind of represents some of the Korean culture, or I guess what you would kind of find is kind of popular to eat in Korea. So that's cool. One of the things I really loved about this film was the idea of how music can connect people and bring people together, and I loved how it even went a step further of like music was also became like this protection as well. And when everyone was brought together and started singing and they were connecting to the music, it created this border which helped obviously try to seal up protect them from the demon worlds. So I just love the idea of how they used music in this, because music is definitely very powerful, and it's so easy to connect to the song. Like even the songs in this film, like the song Golden, and it's just like for me the song Golden's like one of my favorites, and it's like it's so powerful and like you can connect to it, and maybe I don't know, I just think they did a great idea with like using music in this movie, and the way that it's not just another like musical film, but the way that it's part of the story, and the fact that it is their songs that have to get their fans to connect to in order to help create that protection, or the border, So anyways, if that makes sense. I don't know if I said all that right, but anyways, also I thought it was cool. I wrote something down. I had a note written down. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Oh yeah, so Maggie Kang, who was one of the ones behind the movie, said that when developing the history of the demon hunters, they decided to play into the shaman women from Korean culture, as historically these women would sing and dance to protect their village and their community. So it just kind of goes back to what I was saying just a moment ago about how it's, like I said, it's really cool how they really, try to take things from Korean culture and the history and put it into this movie. And yeah, it's fun to learn about new things, and I will definitely say it. It's fun that I came away not just enjoying the movie, but like it's made me want to learn more about a culture, and I got to learn a little bit of history in it, and that's fun to me. I really love that. I really do. One of my favorite films growing up was like National Treasure, because I've always loved kind of learning history about things. I like history stuff, and it's fun. It's fun when you learn something new. So yeah, anyways, let's see what else I wrote down. So this movie left me with some questions, and a pretty good bit of questions. There was some stuff about the plot that I felt like could have been fleshed out more. Some things that definitely left me confused. Not saying that I didn't enjoy the movie, not saying that it takes away from the movie, just things that I felt could have been explained more. For example, one of the big ones for me was what really defines a demon in this movie. Like for example, with Jinwoo, he was a regular guy, like Rumi or like Mira and Zoe, and he made a deal with the demon leader, and then that basically, because of his shame and I guess his wrongdoing, it caused these patterns that basically, caused him to basically be summoned, or like now he lives under the control of the demon leader. We're not really told how Jinwoo died. He looks just as young now and like in the present time in this movie that he did during the time that he, in the flashback when he's talking about when he was, I guess, younger. and he had made that choice to basically kind of turn away from his family. So we're not really told how he died, whether or not, I don't know if he actually died. I know that at one point in the film we can see that the patterns like glow this pink color, and he can, obviously the demon leader can just summon him down to the underworld or wherever it is. And so I don't know. So we aren't really told if Gino technically ever died. Is he just summoned to the underworld, demon world? I don't know. I mean, we do know that he's been there for like 400 years. So, yeah, I don't know. That's definitely a question. But, so that's how he's a demon. We know that with Rumi, her dad was part demon. Or her dad was demon, I guess. And whether or not his story is like Jinu's story or not, I don't know. Obviously, her mom did fall in love with her dad, where they did have a child. And, you know, we see that Rumi does have patterns, which obviously her dad would have had patterns since he was a demon, and we're kind of realizing that all the demons from this world have patterns, and that's how the demon hunters can, like, distinguish them from regular people when they're fighting them, is by seeing their patterns. So, for Rumi, you know, I mean, her dad had patterns, so it's like, I don't know if it's in the DNA that because her dad was a demon, that she's just automatically born as a demon. We do know that Celine made her feel ashamed that her dad was ever a demon, and that her mom was ever, I guess, with a demon. So she was always told to really, I guess, hide that part of her life. And we do see that at least when she is a child, we see that I guess that's when one of the first patterns start showing up, unless there is started showing up anywhere else. But we see that when she's a child, it's like on her arm. So, and then Celine tells her to cover it up. So that's maybe when her shame started. But it's not like a sin shame, you know. Like, it's not like she did anything wrong. You know, with Ginu, he actually did do something wrong to have shame. With Rumi, she doesn't. Like, she's just like, I don't really understand. Like, this is the part where it was just a little confusing, because I was just like, even thinking about like Zoe or Mira, it's like, doesn't everyone have some sort of thing that's almost like they would think is shame in their life, or an insecurity or something? Like, why is in Rumi's case, because of something that she couldn't control, she just automatically has patterns, unless it's just literally made up in the DNA because her dad was a demon, and maybe, I guess, she was getting older and the patterns were going to start showing. But then we know that Celine says once the golden honeymoon happens, the patterns would be gone, which technically, that's another thing. I don't really know how Celine firmly knows that the patterns would be gone. I mean, because once again, even if the golden honeymoon seals the demon world from the human world, doesn't that still mean that people could still become demons? Like, it's just that if the demon hunters technically kill a demon, it's not that they can keep coming back from the demon world, right? Anyways, see, these are some of the questions I had. And once again, like, I know some people will be like, it's a kids movie, don't take it so seriously. And I'm not taking it like seriously as in like, oh, this movie was awful, it's a bad plot, stuff like that. No, the plot that we're given in the movie and the story is so good. It's interesting, it's intriguing. It's just, it does leave me with questions. It's kind of like, I started thinking about Disney's Frozen. I know that during Frozen 2, that movie definitely left me with some questions as well. Enough to where when they announced that they were going to be doing a Frozen 3, you know, they even, you know, whoever, I forgot who announced it, but I remember she, like, even had the little thing on the, I don't know what screen they had behind them, that had, like, that they understood that people had questions about the movie, and they're hoping to answer it in the next movie. So in Frozen 3, we should kind of get some clarification of some of the stuff that happened in Frozen 2. Well, that's kind of the same thing with this, which the people behind K-pop Demon Hunters actually stated that One second. Okay, sorry, I saw my camera lens open up a little bit, and I was worried that my camera turned off, but it's not. Okay, so it's still recording. I hope I'm in focus. I need to get something in the back because I can't see myself. Like, my lens, the camera I got, the little thing flips down, and when it's on a tripod, it just doesn't work out the best. So, anyways, getting off track. Where was, oh yeah, okay. But I know that the people behind K-pop Demon Hunters, I know that they did discuss that there are questions that are kind of left open with this film. And so if they do a second movie, they might kind of answer some of that. But I hope that is something that's kind of answered of really, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know if they will be able to describe it all the way. I don't, because like I said, in my opinion, if it's so easy for Rumi to have gotten patterns, unless it's just the fact that because her dad was a demon and had patterns, I guess it just becomes a part of your DNA, then I guess it would make sense that Rumi was getting the patterns. But I mean, she thought they were spreading because of the shame that she felt, which we kind of get that explanation. I mean, even Jinu's like, you must feel shame too. You know, I don't know. That was definitely a big question to me. I just hope it's more clarified of like, what are they actually kind of defining a demon as, you know? Because I know I know it's really mentioned a lot about the shame aspect, but to me, I'm like, can't any human being almost get shame? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, definitely something that left me with questions. You know, another thing is I wish that we could have explored more with her mom's story. I kind of wish in the movie maybe we could have saw where maybe her mom had left, like, I don't know, maybe a diary or a letter or something to Rumi. Maybe kind of, I don't know, maybe something to just kind of, like her mom telling her that maybe a little bit of the backstory of her and her dad, maybe a little bit, or kind of trying to like let Rumi know that as she grew up she didn't have to be ashamed. Like, you know, maybe we could have found out, like, did Celine maybe hide some stuff from Rumi, because we know Celine is very hardcore on they should hate all demons, and all of them have kind of grown up that way, right? And then that's why at the end of the movie, you know, obviously Rumi confronts Celine and is like, why couldn't you just love all of me? You know, why did I always have to basically feel shame, right? Which is a very powerful moment in the film. I just kind of wish that maybe we could have gotten something where maybe Rumi had gotten a letter from her mom or something that could have made Rumi maybe grow up not feeling like she needed to be ashamed of herself, of being part demon, and maybe even realizing, like, was her dad a good guy? Because I mean, we do know that she does start finally, when she meets Jinu, she does start to have those questions of, could a demon be redeemed, basically, which is really interesting in itself. But yeah, I don't know, maybe we might get some more backstory with her mom. That would have been very interesting. You know, I kind of started thinking this would have actually made for a good TV series, because I do feel like they could have fleshed this story out a lot more over, I don't know, I know that a lot of episodes, I know a lot of like TV series have been like, what, 10 episodes at least, maybe 12. So I feel like it would have been interesting if they made this like a TV series, because I think they could have fleshed it out. But I mean, I get why they did it as a film. I mean, it did become bigger because of it being a movie, I guess. I don't know if it would have been a TV series. Would it have became as big? I don't know. But it would have been cool to see it as a TV series. I could even still see, like, even if they wanted to do a second one, maybe they could still make it a TV series. But I don't know. I don't know if they could, but at least if there is a second movie, I would love to maybe see a little bit more of, I don't know, maybe she can find some of her mom's things or something, and maybe her mom, maybe there's a photo or something of her mom and her dad and her or something. Like, we don't even know how her dad then died. We don't know when her mom died after, or like what happened. Did her mom die first? Did her dad? Like, we don't know anything, and I wish we knew more with the story. But yeah, and once again, I'm I'm saying it doesn't ruin this movie. It just was like, I wish there was more. I wish we could have saw more fleshed out. Which, that was another thing with this movie. Part of this movie brings up the idea of, can a demon be redeemed? Can they have a second chance? We know that at one point as she gets to know Jinoo and kind of starts to fall in love with him or care about him, at one point she even goes to him with the idea of, if he can help her get the golden honeymoon and seal up the demon world, then he could be on that side, and he would be able to have that second chance. So it kind of opens it up as if a demon could have this second chance, and it was very interesting. And she even, because there's a moment when her and Zoe and Mira are fighting the demons, and she hesitates for a second of killing one of the demons in order to be like, are you being controlled by the demon leader? Like, are you being controlled? Because she's trying to figure out, like, is there this possibility that some demons just aren't bad, and maybe they've had stories like Jinoo's where they made a mistake, and one mistake shouldn't define them, right? That maybe they should have a second chance, which, once again, we just don't get a lot towards the end. Like, at the end of this film, they don't actually seal it up with the golden honeymoon. So if there's another film, which I'm sure they're probably going to, then maybe they can explore that a little bit more, because, like I said, I'm sure there are other demons in that world, probably like Jinoo. I mean, her dad could have even been one, that maybe her mom had a story with, like, a Jinoo type character, because technically if Jinoo has been in the demon world, I don't know if you're calling it underworld or demon world, so I'm just going to say demon world. If Jinoo's been in the demon world for like 400 years, we know Rumi's not 400 years old. So, like, her dad must have also been down there at around that time to have also met her mom. So, that's the thing. Like, is her dad still possibly alive? Like I said, we don't even get the thing of whether or not how her dad died. Was he killed? Is he still alive? I know there's even still questions of whether or not Jinoo could technically still be alive. I don't know. Like I said, just some questions. But yeah, I definitely hope that they will explore that. I hope they don't leave that alone. Like, I do hope that in the next film, I hope that they can sort of figure out, like, are there demons that can be redeemed? I'm not saying all of them can. I'm sure there are demons that could just be fully demon, which also in this film we kind of see different looks of the demons. We have, like, the look kind of like Jinoo. Then we have the ones, like, at the beginning of the film when they were fighting on the plane, and they kind of have the different, different looks of their faces. I don't even know what you would call them. And then when they're fighting on the train scene, then there's those demons that come and fight on top of the train. So there are different kind of looks to the demons. I don't know if they could just transform into different looks, or if there's literally certain look they have. I don't know. But it would be interesting. Like, I would have also thought it would have been interesting if we could have got a little bit more with the other Saja boys, like, with them kind of being Jinoo's crew. Do they have more backstory? Could any of them have possibly been redeemable as well? Not saying all of them are, but I would have just loved to have saw more with these characters. I would have liked to have saw more stories with some of the, like I said, I mean, are there more stories and backstories to, like, the other Saja boys? But yeah, hopefully that kind of gets explained. Like I said, the golden honeymoon isn't sealed, so the demon world could still, like I said, that's still in play. So maybe they'll more so tackle that, which, it would be kind of interesting. Maybe, with this movie being so much about kind of the music aspect, and kind of music is something that is, with music kind of being the thing that kind of, like, connects people, can have this, like, power to it. Maybe there's, like, some type of song, like, maybe the girls maybe they find a way to sing a certain song that, I don't know, maybe it can help them tell if a demon is willing to be redeemed or not. Like, I don't know, maybe there's got to be something that can happen for them to know. Like, I mean, would they, I don't know, is there something where they have to go into the demon world? Would they have to go into the demon world and maybe somehow find a way to sing to find out, or somehow be able to determine which demons could be saved, and then at the end somehow like all the demons that could be saved can get a second chance? Or I don't know how that works. I have no idea how that could work. But or maybe they might have to realize they can't seal up the demon world, because there could always be that chance that a demon could be redeemed. I don't know. It'll be very interesting. Which, the demon leader was defeated, so I don't know if that means he was just defeated enough to keep him at bay in the demon world. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's going to end up being another demon leader that could rise to power down there, I guess. Because like I said, I know that, they're called demon hunters, so I know that demons would still have to come into play in the next film. But yeah, I do wish we could have saw a little bit more with Zoe and Mira. And when I say that, like, I kind of felt like at the end of this film, I feel like it cut off, or I felt like it was just ending so fast. Like, right after Rumi's, identity, like, of her being part demon as exposed on stage. And then, obviously, Zoe and Mira, coming to that realization, like, oh my gosh, she's part demon. And then her running off, talking to Ginu, all that, and then them just kind of splitting off. I wish we could have sat with that emotion for, that's just a lot for Zoe and Mira to take in. I kind of wish we could have had a little bit more time to sit with that. Like, maybe the girls go back to their place, and maybe for a second we get them sitting in silence, and then them trying to figure out, we can't kill Rumi, or, she has been our friend, and, I just wish we could have gotten a little bit more conversation. I feel like it happened so fast of, as soon as they leave, then the Saja Boys is, they're putting on a show, and then everyone's kind of being, I don't know, not hypnotized, but, oh my gosh, they're being taken over by the demons. I just feel like it happened so fast, and then I'm just Mira and Zoe have fought demons for so long. I was just why is it so easy that they would be able to be persuaded? Part of me just kind of wishes, I kind of wish in this scene we would have more so had it to where Mira and Zoe weren't overtaken by the demons, and that we could have saw them actively trying to find Rumi. And maybe, like I said, maybe they could have had that realization that they are going to need Rumi to help stop this and to defeat the demons. And maybe having that realization that, not just in the song, but before the song, of them realizing that they are we need to stand by Rumi no matter what. She has always been there for us. And then them trying to go to find Rumi. And we know that Rumi has that whole thing with Celine, and it would have been just nice knowing if Zoe and Mira had been trying to look for her. I feel like that would have been better. I feel like it just kind of happened so abrupt of them just kind of being overtaken by the voices inside with the demons, and then all of a sudden once Rumi starts singing, then they snap out of it with the song. Which, I'm not saying it's awful the way it happened, I just kind of wish we could have, I don't know, I just wish it could have, I feel like in that moment it could have been a little bit more emotional, or could have sat in that emotion a little bit longer for a second. I'm not saying it had to be 10 minutes or 20 minutes, but just, I felt like it just could have been changed just a little bit right there towards the end. I don't know, I just would have, I don't know, I just felt I just would have liked something a little bit more with Zoe and Mira right there towards the end. And, with Ginu, I know that, it was definitely sad. At first, I was oh my gosh, because him and Rumi are obviously so cute together, and I was oh my gosh, it would have been cute if he could have had that second chance and been saved at the end, which I know they didn't do the golden honeymoon, so I don't know how that would have worked out, if he could have just somehow, I don't know how that could have worked. But I like the sacrifice part. It almost gave me vibes of like, or not necessarily the same, but it kind of reminded me of Tangled when Eugene, sacrificed himself for Rapunzel, even though he does come back to life in this, in that movie. But with Genu, I don't know, it was emotional. I was like, oh my gosh, and it's definitely sad because I wanted to see with him and Rumi, which I know some people have said maybe he's still alive, but I don't know. I like the idea of that he's lived 400 years with the shame. He finally is set free, and he did, from the wrong that he lived with for so many years of his life, he was finally able to do something for someone else, or honestly, the whole world. So I thought that was actually such an emotional scene, and I don't know if we should just automatically make him come back to life. I feel like that was just powerful, it was impactful, and as much as I would love to see more Genu, I think it should stay like that. I mean, it's sad, but... So the part where they're at the CD signing, the little girl, I thought it was so emotional when the little girl gave him the little photo, and it said, "You have a beautiful soul." I was like, oh my gosh, that's so sweet, because, like, part of his past is that he left his mom and sister, and then to see like the little girl give him that picture and say, "You have a beautiful soul," I thought that was such a little, it's such a small little detail for a movie, but it was like so beautiful and like it's so emotional, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so sweet, and I really liked it. I will definitely say there are definitely emotional moments in this movie, and this movie just did a great job. It definitely has emotional moments, and like at one point, it wasn't until I don't even know, I maybe watched the movie like for the second or third time, and it didn't even register with me at first, but during the train fight scene, when they realized like everyone was taken, I was like, I didn't even realize. At first I kept thinking that at the end of the film, I figured when they defeated the demon leader, I thought everyone's souls that had been taken would come back, and I thought those people would come back. I will say, like, I didn't realize that people, once someone's soul is taken, like, they're gone. I did not realize that. And part of me was almost like, I do think that was one scene that I was like, I don't know if I feel like they downplayed the emotion just a little bit in that scene. I know a lot of other scenes, I was like, the emotion's there. I feel like they almost downplayed it a little bit, because I was like, dude, like, these people are gone. Like, I didn't realize that when someone's gone in this movie, I guess, when their soul is sucked out, they're gone. Yeah, I did not realize that. I was like, that's heavy. I was like, that's like really a heavy thing to take in. I was like, oh my gosh. Because I wasn't even realizing it. I was like, oh my, I don't know what, like I said, I feel like I was watching it either the second or third time. And then I realized, I was like, wait a minute. The people never returned at the end of the film. I was like, oh, so they're like gone. Anyways, that was definitely something that shocked me. Anyways, with that being said, another thing with this movie is when I first watched it, I didn't really think I feel like a lot of the jokes and stuff just really didn't hit at first with me. The more I've watched it, the more I have just started, like, just thinking certain scenes are just hilarious, and I think it's so funny. Like, when I originally watched it, I thought the whole scene of them being at the game show, I was like, this is so cheesy, and I didn't really find it funny, but the more I've watched it, I keep cracking up every time, like, Baby Saja says goo goo gaga. I don't know, I could crack up at that. Them sliding down the slide and the fans' reactions, like, especially that one guy of make it stop. I don't know, I just crack up now at certain scenes. Like, even like the doctor office scene, like the little doctor clinic. Originally I was like, was that scene needed? But then now when I watch it back, I just find it really funny. It actually is really funny the more I watched it. Even like the magpie and the tiger, like even the tiger just trying to straighten up the pot that he keeps making it fall. So I will say, I feel like the humor took me a minute, and maybe it's just because it's also a different style of movie. I mean, maybe because of it, I don't know, maybe because of it, maybe it was a little bit of a different style I had to get used to, maybe, of humor. I don't know. So, but yeah, no, but really, I did really enjoy this film, and it was funny. Some of my favorite scenes in this film are obviously the opening scene. Really, actually, I really enjoy that scene. Like the whole thing, like them being on the plane, the performance. I really love that. I like the song when they, like, right before they start, Ginu and Rumi start singing the song "Free." I like their little conversation going into the song, and then that whole scene is just really beautiful. Really love it. I like like I said, the game show. Originally, I didn't think it was funny, but the more I've watched it, it's become one of my favorite scenes of the film. Obviously, the tiger and magpie. I think they're so cute. I really love their little characters. Also, the autograph scene. Autograph scene is one of my favorites as well. And yeah, I mean, really, the whole movie. I really love it. But those are definitely some of my very favorite scenes. I'm trying to think of anything else. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed Rumi and Mira and Zoe. I feel like they're such a great group, and I feel like they have such different personalities too. But I love how they make it work, and I love how they're just such a good group of girls. And obviously the songs are just amazing in this film. The look is great. I like the animation. Just everything is so good, you know. I will say, like, the initial watch, at first some of it I just didn't get at first, but then the more I've watched it, I'm like, I've grown to appreciate this movie like more and more every time, and I really love it. So yeah, I think that's most of my thoughts. I don't know, all I can keep saying is that the movie's good. I'm trying to get my sisters to watch it, so hopefully at some point I can get them to watch this movie. So, something else that's kind of fun before I go into my song rankings, I did watch a video where, I forgot where I saw it online, but I know the people that behind this film talked about how that this is an animation where the characters had some of the most outfit like changes, which I usually don't pay much attention to what someone's wearing in a film. I am more usually concentrating on the characters and the story, but I know that my sisters love talking about fashion, so I figured I would share with you some of my favorite little outfits that I saw in the film, because as I went back to, I was like, when I sit down to do this video, I want to share some of the fashion with it, because I know my sisters will watch this video, and I am like, I want to do that because I know they'll enjoy that. So anyway, so I'll put like a little photo, insert photo, some of my favorite little outfits that they had in the film. So yeah, but no, they did a really good job on this film. I think they did. I love how they really thought of different details, and yeah, just the little details, whether it's the culture, the songs, the fashion, just everything is really great. The humor actually became my favorite part. At first I didn't really get the humor, but the more I've watched it, it's become so funny to me. So yeah, anyways, and then obviously now I've got to get to the songs. Hold on, let me find where I wrote it down. So the way I did this song ranking is I didn't really go based on the album. If you go on Spotify, I know they had like the cover song, and there's also a song called Path on there that wasn't really in the movie, so I technically didn't really rank those two songs because I decided not to do the cover song, and then the song Path, I was like, I did not hear that in the film, and I've watched it so many times, so I don't know if it's in the film. Maybe it's in the background or something, I just didn't hear it. I don't know, because I have not heard it. So I'm gonna start from bottom to top, and so yeah. So at number 9, I put Your Idol. Obviously I really like the song. It is catchy, but it is more of the demon song, so I've just kind of put it last, but it's not a bad song. Number 8, I put Love Maybe. In the movie, it's just played really short. It's not, you get the longer version on the album, but it's just a really short scene in the film. But it is a very beautiful song. I just put it number 8. There's no bad song in the film, no bad song on the album. I can listen to this album all day long. Number 7, I put Strategy. Once again, it's just a shorter song in the film. You get the longer version on the album. It is fun beat, it is catchy. Oh no, my thing turned off. 9, 8, 7. Number 6, I put How It's Done. I'm not usually the biggest fan of like kind of the rapping, talking type songs, but it is fun. I do like listening to the song more when I'm actually watching the scene versus listening by itself. So, number 5, I put What It Sounds Like. Obviously, great song, great message. I could definitely be singing this all day. Number 4, I put Soda Pop. I know it's a little, I don't know, at first I felt like it was crazy because I do feel like I could switch around What It Sounds Like and Soda Pop, but it's just Soda Pop is so freaking catchy. It's infectious, right? Wait a minute, what number am I on? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Okay, I'm on 3 now. So my top 3 is, number 3 is Takedown. Love this song. Oh my gosh, the chorus is my favorite part. Just love this song. I've been listening to this song a ton. When I first heard it, I didn't know if I really liked it. I know some of the lyrics are like, I guess I know that it's more of like a diss song to the demons, but like when you're watching the film, like it goes along with the story. It's so, I love this song so much. It's one of my favorites. Number 2 is Free. I love duets. I feel like a lot of times in musicals we don't always get a ton of duets. Like I watch like a lot of the Disney movies and I'm always like waiting for them to do more duets because I feel like they're so rare, because I love duets. And especially when like the girls and guys vocals just really like pair up very well, or blend well, so love this song, great duet. And I just said the songs are just great in this movie. And then my favorite one, number 1, is Golden. I wrote down the best song ever. And I said, love it, repeat it all day. Vocals are just insanely good. Vocals are great. This movie has amazing vocals. The girls did so amazing in this movie singing. And yeah. Which I did read online that these songs actually hit like the top 100 Billboard, so that's really cool. Also, I read that this movie was became Netflix's like number 1 streaming movie like ever, so I was like, that's cool. I would definitely say it's definitely captured a lot of people's attention, and it's a great movie. It's fun. It's not overhyped. I'm telling you, it's not overrated. It's not overhyped. It's really a fun movie. It's a great movie. It's definitely a surprise movie of the year for me, because I just randomly was online and I saw people talking about it, and then I saw the music videos on YouTube, and then I was like, I should watch the movie, and I was like, I love it. So yeah, I think that's basically it. So yeah, if you haven't seen this movie, I would definitely recommend it. It is a fun movie. It has great music. It's a fun movie to watch. It's not like it's too long. And, even though it left me with some questions, it's not that it took me out of the film. It's not that it ruined the film. I didn't take it so seriously or anything, but, it definitely left, like, just talking about the film or discussing films, I was like, hopefully we get some of those questions answered. Hopefully we can have a little bit more of a fleshed out story if they can do another one, or even if they don't do another movie, maybe they'll do like a little TV series, because that'll give them more space to kind of explore more of the stories. Sorry, my camera just turned off, so I don't know. But anyways, no, I would love to see more. We'll see what happens. Obviously, it would be fun to see more of the tiger and the magpie. I know they were right there at the little end of the movie. I know they didn't seal up the golden honeymoon yet, so like I said, maybe we'll just get like I said, it'll be fun to get more of this and see where the story goes from there. I'm definitely excited, and I'm excited to hear more of the songs. I'm sure they'll come up with some more great songs. So hopefully, if anything, hopefully they won't try to rush it. Listen, hopefully this doesn't become like some franchises that just try to throw stuff out there. I'm just like, please take your time, come up with a good story. Trust me, I think we can be patient enough for them to have a second movie. But yeah, I don't know. I think I said everything. I mean, character-wise, I didn't really have a favorite. Like I said, I really loved all the characters. I loved all of them. Even Bobby, he was a fun character as well. I liked all of them. It was fun. I think I've said everything. Sometimes I feel like when I come to the end of a video, I feel like, am I missing anything? I talked about my favorite scenes, the animation, the history, my questions about it, songs, fashion. I think I've talked about most of it, hopefully. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anything. I think I've mostly have said everything. Anyways, my gosh, I write notes down, but then sometimes when I start talking, I'm like, did I forget anything? Yeah, I guess that's it. Why do I feel like I still want to talk about it? But I don't know. Anyways, if you haven't seen the film, you should watch the film. Definitely recommend it. And I think that's it. My next video, I'm going to be talking about Jurassic World Rebirth, because I watched that recently and I've got my thoughts on it. And I'm excited to talk about it. So yeah, other than that, thank you so much for watching. If you have any movie recommendations or things you'd like me to talk about or watch, you can comment down below. Also, if you want to share with me your thoughts that you had with K-pop Demon Hunters, I would love to hear those in the comments below. And yeah, if you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more. I know this channel is still growing, so by the time this video goes up, I know that I still have a lot to go work on. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!